What's up guys? In today's video, I want to tell you about how I made my first sale within 7 days of selling this product that you can sell right now. In this context, by the way, I'm talking about on my Etsy shop. So if you want to follow along, I'm going to tell you what the product is and show you step by step how to get your first one listed. So let's get to it. The product that I'm referring to that I was able to make my first sale within 7 days of launching. By the way, I launched multiple listings. You know I always keep it real with you guys. It's possible to only launch one and make a sale immediately, but it's not as likely. Typically what I'll do is if I'm gonna launch a specific product type, I'll go and I'll launch a few across different niches. In this case, it was Awkward Styles print-on-demand jewelry, where the print-on-demand aspect of the jewelry is on the message card. Now I'm gonna show you, like I said, how we're gonna launch our first product. So follow along, get started by using the link in the description to create your Awkward Styles account for free. Once you do that, go ahead and go to your dashboard. My bad, I'm editing this in after the fact. I forgot that if this is truly your first time pushing a product from Awkward Styles to Etsy, that I need to mention on the left-hand side, click integrations and then click Etsy. All right, you would click connect and then you will log into your Etsy shop and then you will click one more time. I think the button says approve. And that's it. And then you're integrated with Etsy. So it is that simple. I wanted to make sure I mentioned that in case this is your first time using Awkward Styles and the Etsy integration. I'm here in my demo account so I can do a full tutorial. So now on the left-hand side, you can either click product catalog or actually in the first view that you see, when you load your dashboard, you'll see some of their message card jewelry pieces right there in front of you. If you click the product catalog, they've got a pretty wide selection. All right, you can come down here to the catalog, click jewelry. They have both necklaces and bracelets. And again, quite a few of them. Now I was thinking with Easter not too far away, we could do something along the lines of like the religious aspect of Easter, which I think we'll see a nice uptick in sales over the next month and a half. They've got pieces that say Jesus. They've got pieces that say faith. They've got some cross pieces. They also have, I believe, bracelets that have a cross as well. Yeah, right here above my shoulder. So what I did is I went ahead and, or I thought I did, I wanted to click this standard like cross necklace piece right there from the main dashboard in case you just want to keep it simple. The one that's right there in front of you when you log in. Oh, and by the way, I'll also put a code they gave me special for my followers, my subscribers. Love you guys. It'll give you 2 months of Awkward Styles Pro for free, which will bring down your pricing. So if we find this necklace that we're about to sell, where is it? The cross necklace right here, okay? It brings the price down from $13.90 for fulfillment to $11.90. It's a pretty significant boost to our profit, to our bottom line, all right? And all you have to do is use the code. All right, now what we're gonna do here is, this is what it looks like by default. If we try uploading this to Etsy, we're gonna have some trouble convincing people to buy our product. The whole point of the message card jewelry is we need to customize the message card that the jewelry is framed on. When they actually receive the piece, it comes in a box that they can open, all right? And when they open it, they see the card behind the jewelry piece. It's a nice, I mean, whoever thought of this, honestly, really smart. So on the left-hand side, this is what I recommend doing for our first piece of jewelry to publish. The reason I keep saying our first is because I don't want to make it too complicated for the first one. Because if I just say, all right, guys, we're jumping straight to expert level suggestions here, some people might get lost along the way, which is completely like reasonable. That's why when we go to school, they have like a kind of a tiered system. You go from first grade to second grade to third. You don't just go straight to sixth grade. All right, so on the left-hand side, go ahead and click template. What you'll notice is they have a ton of pre-built templates that we can use as jumping off points. We can actually just sell them as is if we choose to, but I don't know that I've ever done that. I typically will find a nice template that I like and then customize it. And even this first one almost looks like it's kind of got a Jesus-y vibe. I don't know. If you disagree, you can pick a different one, but I kind of like it. It's got a nice, like kind of cloudy, beautiful pastel. The pastel colors to me invoke, thoughts of Easter. The one thing that it does have on it, though, that doesn't make sense is the text that says, to our beautiful daughter on her graduation. By the way, graduation jewelry could be maybe your second piece of print-on-demand jewelry that you publish. But let's stick to what we intended to do here and do something along the lines of Easter. So Before, and by the way, when we use templates, we can click in and we can move this text around. We can edit the text, just so you know. So you don't have to use it as is. Like I said, I pretty much never do. I just wanted to let you know that it's very easy to customize when you do it this way. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 1 minute of niche research. Now you can do this any way you want. You can go to Amazon, just do a keyword search, go to Etsy, do a keyword search, go to Google Images, go to Redbubble, whatever works for you, all right? Since I personally use paid research tools like Podly, all right, Podly gives us not only like what we're looking for, but it gives us sales estimates. So it helps us know that it's not just a nice design that we're looking at, that it's actually making sales. So we don't have to guess that maybe people will like this. We can say, oh, people are already buying it. We know people like it. This niche gets the check mark. It's validated by sales, okay? So what I'm gonna do, because we're not selling St. Patrick's Day stuff, even though you can see a lot of that has bubbled to the top. I'm gonna type in Easter, and then I'm gonna type in Jesus, okay? And I'm gonna keep the search at default, and I'm gonna click search. And how about that? They recently messaged me just the other day, and they said that they did some change on the back end to speed up their keyword search. I don't know about you, but that was pretty quick. So here we go. We have a ton of options. Maybe I even zoom in just so that there isn't too many. I don't want to overload. All right, we have a lot of options here in terms of inspiration for text that we may put on our message card. There isn't really a wrong answer. To me, there is such a thing as a right answer. I do think that it's, you know, when you go with a validated niche, that typically means you're probably on the right track. But there doesn't have to be such a thing as a wrong answer either. One thing I like though, when I go with what I consider to be validated niches that are already making sales, or in this case, sub niches of Easter plus Jesus, because obviously there's like Easter and Easter bunnies and Easter eggs. But when you go with sub niches that are already making sales, sometimes people go and they type in the sub niche text itself. So someone can type in "He is risen," right? And they may see a shirt, and then they may see our jewelry. And 90% of print on demand sellers may be thinking, let me sell a shirt. What about the 10% that said, oh, let me sell a cross necklace on message card jewelry? What about them? You know what I mean? A lot less competition, but getting indexed on the same primary keywords, the same primary phrase associated with this sub niche. Hopefully that made a little bit of sense. How about that? How about we just keep it simple? He is risen. How about we just go with that? I mean, there's a lot of options here though. All right. There's quite a few different ways you can approach this. And the great thing is, guys, with Awkward Styles, you can just make a new one, right? You can use a different template for the design if you want. You could use the same template and just switch up the text and go into a different sub niche. If anybody's interested in Podly, by the way, I'll drop a link in the description. It's a nice research tool based primarily on Amazon merch, but either way, I do like that, you know, it's showing based on the best sellers. It puts the best sellers at the top. So he is risen. So now there's any number of ways we can go about designing this. But you know, when we only choose like 3 words, it's not going to be that difficult to design. What I might do is just delete this from the top and maybe take this text and make sure it's left aligned. Maybe I'll just do like a "he is risen," something like that, and experiment. You know, like we don't have to get it perfectly the first try. So how about that? Like "he is risen." I don't think that looks that bad right there as is. I kept the font. By the way, that font is called Kelv Inch, and they have a whole bunch of different custom fonts over here. You can select them on the left-hand side. You can add text, you can remove text, you can change the color of the text, the bold, italic, all the standard stuff. You can do all that with the in-app designer. If you're not a fan of using the in-app designers, no problem. You can just do everything on your computer and then export, you know, a static JPEG or PNG, and then just use that as the finished design, just upload it and move on. Now it says "love mom and dad." You may just switch. I mean, again, you could delete it. You could say "Jesus loves you." He is risen. Jesus loves you. How about that, guys? I don't think that looks too bad at all. If we wanted to, we could, you know, center this, but I think honestly the other one's left aligned. So why don't we just left align it as well? Why not? Let's go with this. Again, this is our first one. If you think that somehow less text means less value and maybe this isn't the best product, go ahead and spend as much time as you want. I just, you know, want to make sure we get through the actual publish the product, right? Because if we don't get to the, hey, the product is up there, we can't make a sale. It's like I say with Amazon merch. If your upload slots aren't full, you know every upload slot that isn't being used, guarantee makes you $0. If you put something there, you have a chance at making money, all right? So let's go. After this, guys, and by the way, at the bottom here, you can select the box types. They currently have the magnetic box, which is a nice, like high quality option, but in the future, they're gonna have a leather box and a luxury LED box. And down here too, there's actually two different types of cross like necklaces with regards to the finish that you can add. So they have the stainless steel by default, and then they have a gun black plated option. I think actually the gun black plated option maybe looks better just because of the contrast of the foreground of the jewelry versus the light background. But again, you can use your discretion, and you can actually publish both at the same time. So why don't we just do that in this case? Next, I'm going to hit create template in the top right corner. They say you can also decorate the backside of your gift card. I'm going to hit no. I've messed around with that, but keep in mind the customer doesn't really see the backside, and I don't even think it's worth adding an extra image to your Etsy listing to show the backside unless there is something that you think is worth highlighting there. So he is risen, Jesus loves you. I'm then going to go ahead and click upload product right there. If you wanted to create a sample order though, you can go ahead and do that. This is just a demo shop. So if you go looking for MD SVG shop on Etsy, you're going to get, you know, the one that we've been using for demos for, you know, publishing videos on awkward styles, on MyDesigns, etc. Then go ahead and just click the upload button. All right. So just click upload, and it is going to take you to the final screen within Awkward Styles where we can customize our listing prior to it being sent to Etsy. So you have the front, and the default option is what I would recommend for your primary photo. I actually think you should spend a little bit of time customizing your primary image. If you guys caught my interview with Heather Studio that I dropped just yesterday, the number one tip she recommended based on all the coaching she's done trying to help people get their Etsy shops set up and be successful is that you got to pay a lot of attention to your primary image, the first image people see associated with your listing. This is great what Awkward Styles gives us, but it's also like the default that everybody that sees this video is going to be using. I mean, obviously our designs will be different, but like it's great, but like how can we make it better and make it our own? You know what I mean? Make it fit with the vibe of our shop or our niche. So think along those lines, and I would recommend taking a little bit of time to make it better. But for now, I'm just letting you know, like I'm going to use that as the baseline, the default that I push to my Etsy shop as the primary. Now you can also change the color to the gun black plated, like I mentioned I might do. So that's just down here, you know, in the bottom left corner. And then down here, they actually have additional mockups and a size chart. So this is perfect. We can select additional images to send to Etsy. I'm going to go ahead and just select a few different ones here. Whoops. I'll select the girl holding it, the hands. Why not just select all these, honestly? Okay. 6 out of 10. And then I'll go ahead and select a size chart as well. One more tab over. It says size chart. Okay. Got that. And this is something that Awkward Styles does that's super cool that I don't know anybody else that's doing this yet. All right. I'm assuming people are going to fall in line and copy this, but like as soon as Etsy's API updated and allowed them to send videos, they added videos for us that are like pre-recorded. All right. And this is amazing. If you've seen when you browse Etsy, sometimes you hover over a listing and the primary thumbnail disappears and it shows a video if that listing had a video. I love that they have videos for us. I personally just like to get a close-up of the product itself. In this case, this is just what I typically do. If you want my personal opinion, there's no right or wrong, you know, in this case, but like I like the most zoomed in one. To me, I don't know why. I just think it's like almost a value proposition to show it like super zoomed. So I'm going to go with this option. It looks like they actually have another couple videos. Okay, they do. I'm going to go with this one right here from the first 4, the third one over, and that's going to be sent, and we're going to have our video already set up. So how cool is that? Then down here, they've got additional photos available. All right, additional mockups, and they also track, if you see this, I'm pointing to it, they track how many images we already have selected. You might as well use all 10. And then if you want to go upload your own custom ones later, delete some and add them in later. But if you don't have like 10 selected, you should be selecting them, in my opinion, until you have a total of 10. All right. I don't know if we want to do multiple size charts, so maybe we'll unselect those. Here we go. And here we go. All right. 10 out of 10. Perfect. Next up, it's, you know, your standard approach to title and keywords. So without making this, a 30-minute video on diving down the next rabbit hole of how to do, an optimized title and optimized keywords, why don't we just go ahead and say Jesus or Easter cross necklace. I like to do commas. I know that people, I've seen some videos recently on YouTube where people recommended like just doing one long run-on sentence with no breaks. Personally, I still like to add breaks, and a lot of the big shops that I study, that I look at and I'm saying, okay, what are these people doing successfully? They also use breaks, so I use commas. Easter cross necklace, comma. He is risen. Jesus necklace. Jesus cross necklace. Jesus loves you. Easter jewelry gift. And you can go on, you know what I mean? Honestly, I do recommend using your full title and putting not just random keywords that don't make sense, but like phrases that people would actually type into Etsy. I do recommend using research tools, but for the sake of this video, why don't we just roll with this? And then from here, the description, I'll just leave it as is for now until I see Etsy follow up with what they said they were going to do about taking our description and adding that to the meta description of our web pages. I'm just going to leave the description because I haven't seen them do that. For the sake of this video, I will skip tags, but you should be adding 13 tags, maximum 20 characters. So it does take a little bit of time. You want to add tags. You want to, typically like front load the tags with your primary keywords. Multi-word tags also help because they typically mimic what someone might type into the search bar. So you can't really go wrong with doing that. If you have a section for your jewelry, go ahead and add this to your shop sections. They should be pulled in when you integrate awkward styles with your Etsy shop, which I just realized I forgot to mention. You need to do that. It's a 2-click process. So when you add your shop, go ahead and I'll probably just edit that in later. Next up, you can hit create new shipping profile. If you haven't already published jewelry to your Etsy shop, they'll add the shipping profile for you that you can use in the future. Occasion, you can just skip. And then all you have to do, guys, click upload product, and this will make its way. Oh, whoops, you have to adjust, I guess. So there's an option that says convert prices to store currency USD. Go ahead and do that. I typically would just alter the price once I get it pushed to Etsy, but either way, they actually have it set to a default price range of above 40 bucks, which leaves massive profits when you consider with Awkward Styles Pro, it's only costing us $11.90 for the stainless steel necklace, and the gun plated is $12.20. With that, that's with the discounted pricing. Use the code in the description. The code Ryan Hogue gets you 2 months free. All right, we can go ahead and just say like $39.99 for both. Why not? And then go ahead and click upload product. And if you guys missed what I just said, we can still publish it and we can make changes on Etsy's end. Okay. What matters with publishing it from Awkward Styles first is that now that we did that, they recognize this product when it sells, and that allows it to have automated fulfillment so that we don't have a manual process of coming in here and telling it like what to produce and send to our customer. It's all recognized now in their system. They don't display it, I don't think, to us, but there is a behind the scenes, like this is me being a web developer. There's a numeric product ID, an integer assigned to this specific design in their system. And it's based on probably the SKU that gets pushed to Etsy. All this stuff you don't really need to understand. I'm just kind of talking while this is in the process of pushing to our Etsy shop. Essentially though, once this is pushed, guys, you just go into the Etsy listing, look it over one more time, add Awkward Styles as your production partner, and then hit publish, and you're good to go. It is that simple. I do recommend with new listings on Etsy, you typically do want to pump some ads into it. Etsy ads, simple enough. They use your listing, your keywords, your tags, your title to determine what keywords to advertise on. That boosts your visibility, get you some sales. Once it makes some sales, Etsy starts to understand your listing, what it is you're selling. It trusts your listing. It helps then increase your organic rank because they don't just take new listings with no sales and start displaying them at the top of page 1. All right. And that's really it, guys. That's really how this game is played. I did use some ads when I made my first sale, but I was only spending across maybe, I think my initial like uploading of products was about 15 products across different niches from Awkward Styles, message card jewelry. I was only spending about $1.50 on average. I just checked before I recorded this on ads a day through Etsy ads. And after making that first sale, again, with the profit margins you see, highly profitable, even with $1.50 ad spend a day. And I was fortunate enough to make that first sale within 7 days. So guys, I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, let me know in the description. In the comment section. Keep in mind, in the description, I have a link to join Awkward Styles and a code that if you use that code, you get 2 months of Awkward Styles Pro for free for the best pricing. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know again if you have questions. Please hit that like and subscribe button on your way out if you haven't already, and I'll see you tomorrow with a new video.